how to understand the difference between proportions and ratios. Typically, I should put it as ratio and then proportion. So just hold on for a moment. Okay. So the ratio part we are familiar with. Okay, which is that if you have a grid of just cells 5 by 4 and another one 3 by 3, and there are some, that's the 5-minute bell. So you have some shaded cells and some unshaded cells. Okay. So now let's look at the ratios part. Okay. So if I ask what is the ratio of shaded to unshaded cells. Okay. So over here, how many cells are shaded? Come on, you can count it easily.
So 5.
5. Okay. So you have 5 shaded cells. To how many unshaded cells? Sorry. Oh, yeah. How many unshaded cells?
15.
15 unshaded cells.
Sir, I think 14.
How can that be? If it's a 5 by 4 grid, then
Oh,
that's 20.
yeah. 15.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. And over here, what will be the same ratio for shaded to unshaded?
3 by 3.
3 by?
Sir, how 3 by 3?
Yeah, it can't
3
be
by
3.
6.
It's 3. You can't say
3 by 6. By 6, yeah.
3 shaded and how many unshaded?
6.
6. Okay. So now we talk about proportions. Okay. So 5 by 15 can also be written as for every one cell, there are 3 unshaded cells. Correct? Why do I do that? Because I can divide both numbers by 5. Right? So 5 by 5 and 15 by 5. So that gives me 1:3. So in terms of ratio, we say that for every one cell in this box, in this grid, there are 3 unshaded cells. What if I do the same here? What will I get?
1:2.
1:2. So that means for every one shaded cell, there are 2 unshaded cells, and you can verify it, right? For this cell, there are 2. For this shaded cell, there are 2, and for this shaded cell, there are 2. So that is what the 1:2 means. Okay. Now, are these two the same? Are they the same?
No.
Obviously not. So they are not in proportion. So the number of shaded cells to unshaded cells in this square and in this, sorry, this is not a square, in this grid, and the number of shaded to unshaded ratio in this grid are not equal. So they are not in proportion. Okay. But I can make it in proportion. How can I do that? What if I add one more? Okay, maybe that we can leave out for the time being. This is 1/3, right? Can you make now? So maybe this can be taken up as a challenge. Can you make another grid? I won't tell you how many here and how many here. But what I want is, I want finally a ratio of 1:3. So that this one and this one will be in proportion.
Sir, I think the time's up.
Yeah, that's fine. You shouldn't worry too much about the time. Okay. So let's so come up with a grid, put whatever number of rows, whatever number of columns you want, and shade it correctly so that you get the same 1:3 ratio of shaded to unshaded cells, so that this cell and the first cell, these two are in proportion. So that is your challenge for the next class.